play with how the S and the T relate, just so that it doesn't seem like inconsistent, or like, I mean, it seems consistently inconsistent or something. I don't know. I mean, E is also the repeated character. Well, S is also a repeated character. Uh, yeah, the E and the S's are repeated characters, so I mean, it's possible I could do something with them to help that out. I don't know though. The fixing the cloud layer relative to the lettering is gonna be fairly important. It's why I don't feel like proceeding with the lettering at this juncture. So I'm gonna save that, and I hmm, sorry, one second. I know I haven't been streaming very long, but I think I'm gonna take a break. Like, I might stream again later, but I think I'm gonna take a break for now. So I know I don't usually do this, but I don't know. Eh. So yeah. Maybe actually, maybe I should finish up this doc since no one's watching anyway. This doesn't really matter if I do this on or off stream. Um, okay, so oh wait, what the? Why is there this extra line? Oh, whoops! I accidentally grabbed an extra line when I was copy pasting this. Uh, um, I should change the name of the stream though, because it is misleading. So I'm just gonna like go. I'm just gonna go like stealth mode or something. Like, I don't have a specific reason to stop streaming because I'm just gonna be standing at my computer doing this type of thing anyways. But oh, I also, yeah, I said I was gonna keep an eye on the yeah, I'll just like do miscellaneous stuff. So actually, yeah, I'll switch it over to game dev for a second. Oh, whoops! Don't make noise. Stop making noise. So whatever. I'm going back to game dev, and I'll change the name of the stream to like what, like I honestly don't know. It's like, I don't know, whatever. Cool. All right. Whatever. All right. Back to screen cam. All right. So fate-driven types. Adventure-driven types. All right. So the outcome of adventure driven event types are decided by the players. The outcomes of adventure driven. The outcomes of adventure driven event types are decided by the players. These events allow the most player agency over the most direct player agency, most direct player agency over the course of the story. I use these again, I shouldn't use decided. The outcomes are I need more synonyms for decided, because they're not chosen by the players per se. They're just the direct result of the player's choice. These outcomes the outcomes of adventure-driven event types are thesaurus, thesaurus.com. Decided. Hey, congratulations to whoever leveled up. Kev Silent, welcome. I always say welcome. Welcome to level 17. Oops. No, that's not. Certain, definite, decided? No. Alright, fine, decide. Excuse me. Are, determined? Yeah? Determined's fine, I guess. The outcomes of, are determined. Yeah, fine. Determined by the players. These events allow the most direct player agency of the course of the story. I use these, events, to let the players choose how to proceed. So decided, let's go back to our events folder, get some good examples of decided type. What is decided? I mean, the obvious one is the boulder. What's another decided? What is another decided? I know there are more of them. Man, some of these are really... I got really abstract one day when I was writing these. Oh, no, rescue... Or no, rainstorm is popular, right? No, it's event type 3. Okay. Alright, so, yeah. Copy this. Oh, you know what? I should get rid of the, I should get rid of these. Because, those are not real. And that's not a feature that it's not a feature of the GM system. It's only a feature of, hey, 2D Heroes, how's it going? Welcome. Yes, I've survived. Actually, I'd say I'm doing pretty well right now in that it's just it's snowing outside, but it's actually warmer right now than it has been for some reason. It's just like it got warm and then it decided to snow. Like it's not warm, but it's like my fingers are cold, but like I was almost like I don't almost really even feel like I don't know. Whatever. Have you been to Heroes? A long time. Wait, what was I typing here? Oh, I didn't even finish the sentence. Oh yeah, no, I didn't even finish the sentence. I should finish the sentence, huh? Shouting and subduing could both prove perfectly helpful, could both prove ineffective, or could work in varying degrees, or could each work in work in varying degrees. Sure. Oh, secrets. Secrets. Oh, cool. Yeah, I missed you. You were like one of the regulars, and I don't know. I guess I didn't follow your stream close enough to like I wasn't there literally every day. So whenever that transition happened, I was not aware. Yeah, right now I'm just so sidequests, as you may notice, has come a ways since its origins. And what I'm working on now is just writing up a quick doc for you can actually like players can actually run the game. Like I can appoint like a game master, to anyone who feels like acting as game master for the game, and because like it's a little bit well, this document started off as like a quick one page like here's how to do it, but then I kept adding stuff, and so it's gotten a little bit longer, and I'm just one of the our star GM Zero Maverick asked for some clarification on the event type, so like it's all really obvious to me inside my own head how these work, but it this doc is supposed to help translate what's in my brain to other people's brains. I guess. Okay, so the rainstorm is decided. Huh. It's event type 3. I could have sworn it was oh no, it's event type 3, which is not decided. Event type 2 is decided. Right, okay, so I could use the rainstorm as the yeah, I'll probably use the rainstorm as the example for the last one. I don't need that one open anymore. Alright, so what's an example of event type 2? I can just use the boulder. Seems fine. It's very direct. It very clearly indicates oh, well no, it doesn't. I mean, it's a good example of that particular event type, but it's not very compelling. What? All right, I'll just look. It's not arson. Arson's definitely not it. Betrayal, not it. Bridge or boulder, yes. Bridge, no. Curse, I forget. No. Curse is really abstract. Doomsday is event type 2. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Doomsday device. Cool. Oh, did I? I know I updated the script yesterday, but it just occurred to me I don't think I yeah, I didn't change like multi is now multi with square braces rather than multi with parentheses, because we changed that yesterday. Because everything is square braces now. Well, not everything, but like all these commandy type things are square braces. Okay, so cool. Excuse me. All right. Type 2. Okay, so example. Hark. You uncover a doomsday device. This event is decided. Oops, I'll put it in the multi thing because whatever. Multi. This event is decided. If this event is type decided because players can choose how to deal with an imminent problem. Players who hey, we got a new follower. Trent Sterling. I think I've met you before. Yeah. But welcome, anyways. I'm glad I finally convinced you that the stream was worthwhile. All right. If the event type. Oh, whoops. Why did I type? If. I meant to say this, I think. This event type is decided because the players can choose how to deal with an imminent problem. Players who work together to accomplish a goal are rewarded with a better result, or rewarded with success, I guess. If players are unable to coordinate or unable to agree, they may all fail together. They might all fail together. Alright, so yeah, type now the rainstorm. Yeah, wallowing in a puddle is not actually an option here, or it's not a real option. Dash example hark. The clouds explode with torrential rainfall and thunder. Will you build a tent, search for shelter? So this event is type popular. Oh yeah. In this other undecided type. So only. I'm just going to quickly note only one of these possible outcomes will so oh yeah so okay so so although any of these any of these actions, any of these options could solve the problem at hand, only the one with the most players engaged will or only the one with the most person power will win out, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Only one with the most person power. No, that's not really well, it's not really the characterization that I want for it, because it's not like you win at diffusing the doomsday device. It's like everyone wins because the doomsday device was diffused, but like it only got, or like, you know, not necessarily diffused, but like neutralized in some way. But it only got neutralized in one of these manners. Like either you disabled the power source, you evacuated everyone, or you rolled it into an abandoned mine shaft. It's like you didn't. It's like you get half credit for like getting the townsfolk to evacuate, kind of, maybe, but not really, because I don't know. The event types 0, 2, and 4 are a bit more draconian. It's either like it's very pass fail. There's very little in the middle in terms of some of that stuff. So only the one with the most person power will only one with the most person power will, I don't know, be the causal factor or something. Only one with the most person power will yield the victory, I guess. Yield or the only one with the most person power will thank you, Sogam. Yeah, I get philosophical when I don't actually think about stuff. I was like, what am I doing next? I don't know, everything and nothing, I don't know. So only one with the most person power will or actually, okay, so although, oh yeah, okay, so the one, not only the one, but the one with the most person power will, I don't know, will work best. No, but that's not really what distinguishes this one from the other type. I mean, like, so the thing about the categories is that like the categories are more indicative of like what event type than than the specific event types are. So I mean, one thing I could actually do is I could uh I could change it instead of having like individual like actually I mean I was thinking of when I was first thinking of like what to use as the commands, I was thinking of actually doing like random 1 and random 2 or like random A and random B. And maybe I should do that because like like yeah, the difference between random and jagged as they're currently called, the difference between like type 0 and 1 are like very minor. They're very like they're like just little details really. And the same is true of like 2 and 3. But then the difference between like, you know, the fate driven types, the adventure driven types, and the leader driven types, those are like the major differences. So I don't know, maybe this might be fine. For now. But it might be better if I change it, so I'll have to keep that in mind. So the one with the most person power will work. Uh, Whatever. The one with the most person power will save the day. I don't care. All right. This event is type popular because each option will work better the more players who contribute. So players, although player. Wait, I'm describing the. I'm spending a lot of time just. Yeah. Okay, so wait, no, I was about to describe it in a very clinical sort of like fact based way, but that's not what I'm actually supposed to be doing here because the whole point of this is to give like examples and like really convey like how to use the event type. So I know I don't. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, whatever. Players can succeed in smaller groups. Uh, um, Although the best outcome still occurs when everyone works together. Works together towards the same goal. Okay. And then I'm probably going to put in a page break here because I don't like it when it breaks weird. Okay. So then leader-driven types. So the outcomes of leader-driven event types are determined. Actually, no. The outcomes of leader-driven event types are secondary to the challenge presented by the event. Leader driven so like these events these events generally so the consequence of these events, the consequences following these events generally have more to do with how successful the event, how successfully the event concluded. The event concluded with little other variability or divergence. I might want to use plainer language. I tend to sound like a thesaurus when I write stuff and when I talk, in part because I like words, and sometimes because I literally use a thesaurus. Although, actually, I think I sound more like a thesaurus just when I talk than when I actually use one. Because if I'm using a thesaurus, I can usually find a good enough word that it doesn't sound like I'm using a thesaurus. Alright, so the outcomes of leader-driven event types are secondary to the challenge presented by the event. The consequences following these events generally have more to do with how successfully the event concluded. For the other variables, I use these events to test players, test the groups, test the group coordination in achieving complex goals. They add challenge. I use these events to test group coordination in achieving complex goals, or to push forward, or to maintain interactivity in an otherwise linear story, an otherwise linear section of story. I don't know. Part of the story. An otherwise linear part of the story. Okay, so even. What's an example of even? These I had no problem finding earlier. An example of even is well, I could just use the arson as kind of the simplest one. Is there a better one though? There might be a better one, but I don't care. Whatever. Example. Hark. This all stuff. Alright, so this event is type even because the goblins and the fires both pose a threat. To truly to succeed Hey, I'm Complete Gamer. So the game that's that's a very good question. The game that's running along the bottom of the screen is also the game that Trusty Bard is talking about, which is SideQuest. And right now, Trusty Bard is running the show. Trusty Bard is a robot. Don't tell him that. He's a little sensitive about it. And so it's just like an automated system. The game is not just entirely automated, though. In fact, the game is actually intended to be played by like an actual person as like the leader of the game, like the game master, kind of like if you think of like in Dungeons and Dragons, you'd have like a dungeon master, that sort of character or that sort of player. And so I've been recently I've been adding in a bunch of new features that the game master can use to like steer the course of the game. But I've added enough at this point that it's a little confusing, and so now I'm just typing up a quick explanation of how those tools work. Fun fact: it's actually when I say a player can act as dungeon master, it's actually literally any player can act as dungeon master. So I'm gonna put in chat a link to the doc that I'm working on because this I'm making this in case anyone ever feels like acting as dungeon master. It's I mean it's like very yeah, it's like the type like it's probably not for everyone, right? Because like some people like playing Dungeons and Dragons, they don't like playing necessarily as the dungeon master, and like some people like acting as the dungeon master. So yeah, just I basically have it that anyone who wants to give it a shot is welcome to give it a shot. Although I have this doc so that the people who want to give it a shot have a shot, and they're not just doomed to fail. um, so specifically, what I'm going over now is hey, uh, an unexplored cavern, delightful. Uh, sorry. Um, yeah, so the core of the game is the event system, and there are enough event types at this point where it's a little bit one of the players who's acting as GM requested additional like inspiration for like how to come up with these events, or specifically how to tell this how to fit these events into the story that he was telling. So that's what I'm doing now. So yeah, we went through. There are three major categories, and we're describing the last one now. In each of the major categories, there are two different event types. So the last type, leader-driven event types. So goblin arsonists have pillaged the village. Will you chase the scoundrels, douse the fire, or oh, whoops! I have to change the the phrasing here because I took out one of the options. I think I did that with yeah, with the rainstorm as well. Or oh, and also it's supposed to end with a question mark, not a period. Uh, the rest of them okay? Yeah. Okay, so this event type is this event is type even because the goblins and the fires both pose a threat. To truly succeed, or to fully succeed, the players must address both issues. Um, uh, if the entire group works, or yeah, if the entire group manage to fully succeed, the players must address both issues. If the entire group manages to divide and conquer, the event succeeds. Otherwise, the event succeeds, and or the event fully the event to fully meet this challenge, players must address both issues. If the entire group manages to divide and conquer, the event succeeds, and all players reap the rewards. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you very much. I appreciate both compliments. I also giggle a lot, so sorry about that. So what happens? So this is the case where if the players if the group neglects part of the problem, if the group neglects part of the problem, no one can benefit, or no one will benefit. Yeah. Okay, last one. Example. So what is an example of type 5? I mean, the obvious one is treasure. Treasure is the most straightforward, I think, because it's the most literal. Okay. I was supposed to dial back the exclamation points in these events. But I don't know, maybe the Hall of Treasures is the one time where it's actually exciting. Whatever. I won't worry about it right now. Alright, so example, hark. Oops. Hark. You stumble into a Hall of Treasures. Will you peruse a coffer or examine an ancient relic? So this event is type even, type short, because each of the options have a finite or represent, each of the options represent limited or each of the actions well, no, yeah, so each of the options are clearly limited, or definitely limited. If all players I can type, I swear I can type. If all players woof choose the same option, e.g. Coffers, there will be less to go around. Unlike even type events, if one player if one or few players choose the less if one or few players choose the less common action, those players can succeed independent of the rest. Yeah, cool. So that's pretty much it. That is the gist. Hopefully that'll help Zero when he gets back. And okay, yeah. So the other thing that I noticed earlier is that so one of the recent changes is that like the name tags, they all have like that gray like text behind them now. That gray text is from the snow. What I realized is that I wanted some backing text to all name tags, regardless of the setting. I just really don't like it. I needed it for legibility. I'm pretty sure the game needs it for legibility because one thing I noticed looking at the video was sorry, I'm just gonna bring this on screen for a second. Is there situations where it's just very unclear what the text says because it just doesn't look good. So because I'm like making this like a thing now, I think I'm gonna make it a little nicer too. I mean, it always was a thing, but like before it was like the exception, but now it's like the rule, or it's like it's gonna be more common. So for one thing, I'm gonna change the color so that it's not just that awful gray color all the time. And then also I'm gonna add like I'm gonna round the edges just so it's not so like flat and like boxy. Just taper it a little bit so it doesn't look as well, like how it looks now. Yeah, this shouldn't be too hard. So I think I'll probably do the tech work first, and then once the tech is done, I'll go through and do a color pass on all of the little all the different environments, so that they each have each of the background pieces are an appropriate color. So actually, I guess it's kind of good that the game is in auto mode instead of with the GM right now, because I always feel bad about restarting the script when someone's playing GM, and when I'm art testing though, I like to restart the script a lot. So all right, let me think. Yeah, okay, so I'll make the art pieces first. Or I know that sounds backwards, but what I mean by that is I will make well, yeah, so I'll just do for one of the backgrounds. The forest is probably a fine choice, I guess. Yeah, the forest is good for this purpose. So yeah, so there's gonna be kind of like with the action frame, I'm gonna put like end pieces. So right, so now we have char frame. Let's open this with paint.net, and this should be, no, I mean at this point it's actually basically the same as wait, what? Oh, I am in paint.net, so just open it. Just open it with paint.net. I can just open it. Oops. Okay. In fact, it didn't even process the command because I had paint.net open when I told it to open with paint.net. Delightful. Okay, so so all I really want to do here is file so let's just take a thin cross section of this piece. So whoops, no, not that. I don't know, like 3 pixels wide. It's probably plenty because I don't want this to get huge. So file, hey, event time. File new, just this big. So all I want to do here is just round the edges. So I might just like pixel art it, I guess. I don't know. Oops, I need a much smaller. I need a much smaller brush for this. Oops. Wait, I thought this was 3 pixels thick. Oh, I only did 2 pixels thick. I mean, I guess that's fine too. I could literally just dock 1 pixel off of each of the edges. That's basically what I wanted to accomplish. No, I'll soften it too a little bit. Not quite that much. Yeah. And then I don't know, basically like that. I think that should be fine. It's gonna be very subtle. Oh, actually, yeah. No, it's gonna be not quite that subtle. So I can make this a little more gradated. But like something like that should probably be fine. I think. I don't know. So let's actually copy this new layer, paste, and deselect layer, flip vertical. Because what I want to do is basically like overwrite the bottom part with this new one. Whoops, wrong layer. So let's slide this up a click. Oops, slide it up a click. There we go. And now let's delete the old background from underneath. So how much? All right, so that whole section is left over from the old way. Whoops, wrong layer. I'm really bad with selecting layers. All right, cool. So now like the edges will just taper a little bit. So like the thing that, so oh yeah, so let's save this as this will be flatten the image. So it's just 1 layer. We can save it as a ping. Save as char frame. This will be the left side. So char frame L for left, and then just very simply we can image flip horizontal, and then file save as char frame R. So now we just have a little piece to put on either side, and it'll just make the I think it'll just frame it a little bit better. And so, right, so we have these pieces, but like I said before, I want to do the tech work to hook them up first, and then I'll come back, because the other thing I have to do is for each of the backgrounds, we have to do, for each of these backgrounds, we have to find a color that doesn't look as awful as that gray color. I really don't like that gray color. Alright, so, yeah. I don't need those. I'm all set with that. Okay, so, yeah, let's jump over to our script. Because for one thing, oh yeah, for testing this, because I'm doing the forest first, I want to make it so that the background always loads as the forest. So, there we go. So now whenever I restart the script, it'll always go to the forest. And then, yes, now I guess I want to go to, well, okay, so I have to load in these images because the script doesn't just magically know about them. Can't magically use them until I say. So, font, action. Where am I loading these in? Got to be doing it somewhere. Where though? Oh, I'm doing it as part of the environment, of course, yeah, because it changes with the environment. Like I said, I'm going to do different colored versions for each. So this is where we load the data for the environment, right? So right now we have self frame L frame R frame frame L frame M frame R. Where do we do the char frame. Where do we load in the char frame? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. Previously, we did this if exists thing because previously that didn't exist for all the backgrounds, but I think it's going to exist for all the backgrounds now. So we can just make this much simpler. We can just say basically just copy, paste. We're now going to have char frame L, char frame M. Might as well follow the convention. Char frame, char frame R, and right. So it will be char frame L, char frame M. I could add in the M, I guess. Right now it doesn't have the M's, so I'll just add in the M's real quick. Actually, I'll just do it for forests. I have to change it all for the other backgrounds anyways. So yeah, just for consistency, char frame underscore M. All right. So char frame M and char frame. No, if I wanted to change the frame rate, I would have to actually draw the individual frames of animation, and I'm not an animator. I'm not even an artist, so this is as good as it gets. I mean, maybe someday if I get an artist on the project, I can actually like do that. But for now, it's this is the frame rate. I mean, I could make it go faster, but it would just look silly if it was going faster because they wouldn't actually like have more frames of animation, so they'd just be like. Yeah. All right. So I do have a good reason for that. I'm not just being lazy, because I had to choose between frame rate or character art, and by that I mean quantity. So yeah, I choose between like frames and character art. If I did more frames, it would take me longer to make character art, and so couldn't have as much character art. Okay, so oh yeah, and since I decided that I can get rid of this part. Oh yeah, noisy. Yeah, it used to be that I only did this for noisy backgrounds, but all right, let's see where I use noisy because it's again like, well, no, yeah, this is the next thing I have to change anyway, so I'll just have to remember that noisy is no longer a thing. So just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. And get rid of all of this too. Yes. Oh, and I can get rid of this too, because that was just for the conditional. Alright, cool. And, thank you, Ice Cozy. Yep, so, right, so the situation wherein these occur is the place that we just looked a moment ago, which is, the place where we actually, like, blit text. Just because there are, like, a few different ways in which we blit text, there's, like, this generic version, which currently looks for noisy, that noisy value that we just took out, the one that doesn't exist anymore. Where does it look for that? Oh yeah, so if environment noisy. It's an else if. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we can just get rid of noisy, and we can say, we can just say if bgtrans greater than 6, and then else. This can just be a flat else. And this is just deciding whether we use the current environment's background frame or the next environment's background frame. Because when we're transitioning between environments, there has to be a point at which we like click it from one to the other. I mean, yeah, huh? How do I do it with action text? Oh, Maybe I should do it the same way with action text. Because I think the way if I do it this way. Oh no, you know what I should do is just not do the if BG trans thing anymore. Yeah, because I used to use the BG trans because like so BG trans is the transit is like one of the stages when transitioning between backgrounds, and I think it's like the exact middle stage, and so I figured like at the exact middle of that transition we should switch from between them. But well actually no, you know what? It wouldn't be that hard to just switch over. Oh no, it kind of would. Yeah, no, it's way easier just to not care about that stuff. There's gonna be frames. The only difference is like the background might like the colors might not be as beautiful as as we would want them to be. But that's fine. Uh, and if it bothers me later, I can always come back and fix it. So yeah. Uh, so let's just get rid of all this stuff and unindent this graphics. So save that and yeah, but it's not really done yet because we actually yeah, maybe it'd be easier just to inherit more of this stuff.